It appears that the whole console ecosystem is now starting to change faster than we envisioned. As 2024 is winding into the Q4, we're starting to see some interesting aspects to them. Number one is the news article from Matt Piscatella that shows the kinds of games that gamers usually play. It will unveil a few things. And then number two is a rumor about what Xbox game is coming to the PlayStation platform. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel, where we've been talking about this change for a while now. And as we're seeing the changes, it's very interesting. Matt Piscatella went ahead and he actually posted this image, which he posts more, frequently. And he talks about the top played games in the US and talks about, other platforms as well. And they track the top played games by engagement. On the PlayStation side, which is on the far left, you can see Call of Duty, Fortnite, and a lot of these other non-PlayStation games rocking it over there. Now, if you look at the Xbox side, it's basically the same. But here's something that's very interesting, especially to my audience members who tell me that the PC platform is not viable for PlayStation. Look on the PC, look on the Steam side and see Helldivers holding it down at number 2. Last week, it was number 4. So apparently something is going on the PC platform that's not happening on the PlayStation platform. So I guess we can now say, from what we're seeing in terms of the metrics, it appears that PlayStation has, in my opinion, what I think is some games that may be able to make a good showing on the PC platform. And, day one is already a thing, too. So that already helps Helldivers as a day one game. Call it live service, call it what you want. Call it marquee game or non-licensed game or whatever the heck you guys try to move the goalpost with. And forgive me for being rash here because I think I'm just tired of all the goalpost movement. At the end of the day, it's still what, PlayStation is doing to rake in money. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. They need to rake in the dough. They need to be able to compete very heavily because the second article kind of puts us in that place where we now see that apparently the news about that Xbox game that's coming is more than likely an Indiana Jones game. Now, no one can confirm this because apparently when you read the article, there are conversations talking about NDAs, talking about this is leaked by someone in the industry. And so all of this is more than likely going to be washed. However, I don't really care what the game is. To me, all I see is that now PlayStation players can enjoy the benefit that I've been enjoying for the last few months, which is getting PlayStation games on PC, and they can now start possibly getting these games. So let's look at what Tom Henderson actually posted here about this. And he says, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to PlayStation. It's claimed. He went ahead and replied to the post in a very weird way. I don't know why he actually made this, comment underneath it. He said, people who have bought PlayStations will not fork another $300 to $400 on a console and subscribe to Xbox Game Pass for 3 months of exclusivity. Hey, Phil Spencer said that day in that particular, do y'all remember when he said that? And everybody kind of were like, oh, he's throwing shade at PlayStation. He said, I want you to play your games wherever you can play your games. So apparently he's keeping in line with their strategy and the things that are being said. So I guess this is not news for us, or maybe it's news for some people. Who knows? He continues and says, don't get me wrong. FOMO is strong. But if anything, PlayStation will now be getting arguably a better day one game than Xbox after all the patches and fixes games need these days. Well, I don't know. I think this is more of a slanted comment in a sense, and then puts an LOL after it. I don't know why you would say that. Maybe you're insinuating that Indiana Jones is going to be buggy at launch, perhaps throwing shade at Xbox. Whatever it is what it is. People are still going to get to play the game. I mean, we could always use the same, kind of thinking if that's the case for Wukong and argue that possibly Wukong is going to basically be the better version that's coming out to Xbox when it eventually comes out. We could use the exact same argument for Baldur's Gate 3, but it's a throwaway argument. It doesn't even really make any sense. I think it's just a tongue-in-cheek comment at the end of the day. So apparently, based on, in my opinion, this particular chart, seeing how on Xbox and on PlayStation, these, single player games are not necessarily holding it down, it makes sense to me that Xbox is looking at ways to farm dollars. Seeing the success of games like Hogwarts Legacy, seeing the success of games like, Elden Ring, which are multiple games that are available to other platforms, it seems to me that this is a strategy that is very sound. You see, if you're a publisher of a console, and you're sitting there and you're seeing other third-party publishers basically raking in dough from software sales, you have to at some point question and say to yourself, do I really want my own audiences to start spending $300, $400, $500 to play a $60 title every single time? Or, at what point do I just say to them, play the game and make me money? Because yes, some people would jump the ship, but it's not an effective business strategy in my opinion. I've never seen it as one, and it just never made sense to me. And so I'm happy that PlayStation fans get to actually get a hold of some of these Xbox games. Now, here's the problem and here's the challenge for PlayStation. Are they going to take their own games to the Xbox platform? Is the market already at that point? We don't know what their financials look like. However, it doesn't seem like Xbox even cares. Xbox just wants to get you your games so that you can play them wherever you want. Now, I have something that I want to say at the end of this video, which is something that I think should be taken with a lot of caution, especially for those on the Xbox side. Resist the temptation to say that, you're upset or you feel bad that these games are going to PlayStation while PlayStation games aren't coming to you. PlayStation is working with a dying model. It's only a matter of time before they start to put their games everywhere as well. You see, right now, the competitive pressure is not yet heavy. It's building up. When I say it's building up, what I mean by that is Bethesda has an arsenal of games ready to deploy in the next, say, 3, 4, 5 years. Many people are not looking at games like Elder Scrolls. Many people are not thinking about those big titles like Doom and so on and so forth. The moment those games start to make their way to PlayStation, what they will do is they make for a competitive pressure on the PlayStation platform. Some people might think that this is not necessarily a big deal because another God of War game might come out and another X-Men game and a Wolverine game and all this stuff. However, what they're not paying attention is it's going to be like death from 1,000 cuts. Remember what happened to Horizon Zero Dawn. Remember what happened to Horizon Forbidden West. 2 PlayStation games that were overtaken by other third-party games. In fact, the Zelda one was quite interesting with Horizon Zero Dawn because it was on a whole different platform and it just drew all the attention away. Whereas in the case of Xbox, if they have so many games on PlayStation, it now starts to compete on PlayStation's own turf. And I can tell you, PlayStation games, they may be attractive, but some Xbox games, they will be attractive as well, especially when they're sitting in front of you and you don't have to cross the bridge and go pay $300 for a Series S or $500 for a Series X. So what may happen when this competitive pressure continues to push is that you will see these PlayStation games make their way to the Xbox platform. If they don't, then Xbox has the next chess move to convert their Xbox, console into one that could support Steam. If this ever happens, then it's basically zip, hook, line, sinker. PlayStation becomes highly irrelevant for the Xbox user. They never have to think about PlayStation anymore. Now, that's not saying that PlayStation becomes irrelevant for PlayStation fans. Don't get me wrong. However, the Xbox user is no longer going to have to bother simply because they can download Steam. And if they download Steam, they can gain access to a lot of the games that are basically sitting on Steam. But anyways, I'll stop this video for now. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate you guys' time and audience. And hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.